increase number of products. That's it. So concentration strategy, which means it focuses on primarily increases the number of products. That's it. For example, if you are in computer industry, or you can see the laptops, you are offering different design with different colors. Gadgets, different sizes, capacities, different models. So that's it. So you are serving basically the same line of product with different varieties. Concentration, which means you are just concentrating on the one product or one market, and that's it. One categories, and that's it. While the vertical integration is that if you want to make a laptop, why not? Because for laptop you need to purchase raw material, for example chips, plastic, screens, right? Wi-Fi antennas. About that. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. Everything is blocked. Okay. Wait a second. Okay, class, welcome back. So we were talking about the types of corporate level strategy. We talked about concentration, and let's just talk about the vertical integration. Vertical integration means when you are expanding, we were talking about the example of laptop, and we talk about that in laptop, what kind of raw material you need. You need plastic, you need chips, you need screens, right? So what if you expand and become your own supplier? So you also now importing plastic your own rather than just buying from someone else, or making the plastic, making the raw material by yourself. You're also making the chips, you are also making the screens. So in which when you become your own supplier of the raw materials of your final product, right? Your final product is laptop, so for raw materials coming from plastic and other suppliers, so you become your own suppliers. So this is called vertical integration. So there are two kinds of vertical integration. We call this backward vertical integration, and we also call it forward integration. So backward means when you become the supplier of your raw material. So this is called backward. So now you are the company who produces its own raw material and then make finished good. So what is forward vertical integration? It comes from here, that you have your own retail store as well. You eliminated the middleman, the distributor. You are your own distributors. You have retail store like Apple. So your product is also can be presented in other market shelves, but you have your own display centers, retail store as well. So this is called forward integration, when you have the retail store, your own distribution channel. So some companies, they don't have their distribution channel, so they rely on some others or distributors to place their products. So backward integration, when you become supplier of the raw material, you have your own supplier of the raw material, you own them. And when you have your own distributing businesses, when you own them, the distribution channels, we call this forward integration. And then horizontal integration. It means when you when you expand through mergers. You are Sony company, you also produce laptops, and there is a Dell company also produces laptops, so you join hands together. And because both of your products is the same, so it's called horizontal integration. All right. And then what do we mean by diversification? We have concentration, vertical integration, horizontal integration, and then diversification. What does it mean? It means that you have different unrelated products. You are expanding with different unrelated products. For example, Sony in movie industry, in home appliances, in automobile, in digital services as well. These products are totally unrelated. So you are expanding with unrelated products. Right? So any question regarding types of corporate level strategies? Philip, understand? Pablo, Elias, Morris, Oliver, Luca.
Yes.
Good. So let's move further. So we talk about corporate level strategies, and in those corporate level strategies, you talk about 4 corporate level strategies. And then what do we mean by corporate stability strategy and corporate renewal strategies? Stability, which means they are continue to do what is currently doing. So they don't innovate, they just focuses on one product and that's it. For example, your local water supply company, they just provide you water for your shower and daily, services, electricity, and that's it. They are providing electricity, that's it. These are called stability strategies because they cannot change their product. So in that case, that company should focus on stability strategy. But if you are not focusing on just one core of your product, and if you want to go to another level, you are expanding it, then you need to see the renewal strategy. Okay, we are having a loss from this strategy. For example, water supply company, they are having loss because they cannot increase the price of the water supply, otherwise people will start complaining or something about that. So what they need to do to be more profitable? All right, so it means they opt for renewal strategy, which means a corporate strategy designed to address declining performances, in which they restructure, maybe they change the management, they change the technology in which they pump the water or they're supplying the water. Maybe there is some leakage, or the motor is quite old and it is more power efficient, you can reduce the power bill, this kind of stuff. Right? So there are 2 strategies at the top level managers when they formulate the corporate level strategies. So they think about whether we should stay the same or whether we should move forward because we are having low performance, something we want to improve the performance. So what products we should include or what kind of thing we need to do that. Either we go for liquidation, either we go for bankruptcy, or either we go for because our performance is declining, right? So How you manage the corporate level strategies? We use BCG matrix. We call this Boston Consulting Group matrix, in which we guide our resource allocation decision on the basis of market share. So a company owns different kind of business, different products. Like I gave you the example of Sony, movie industry, also in EV market, also in laptops, also in home appliances. So they categorize their resources, what kind of attention, what business needs our attention more. So here it goes. So it's based on growth rate and market share. So here we go. So market growth, market share. So your business is called, that business segment is called star, which has high growth and high market share. We call that business segment star. So maybe the Sony movies business, this segment of the movie business, this is the star. Here is a bit explanation here as well. And that big business segment which has high growth, all right, but low market share, we call this questionable, question mark, because we don't know its potential yet of the Sony industry. And that segment which has low growth but high market share, low growth but high market share, we call this cash cow. Maybe their laptop business is here. Everybody's, technology is changing, and now people are going back from this much big computers to laptops, and then on your mobile phones are becoming more performing the same stuff like tablets and all those stuff, right? And our last one is the dogs, in which we have low market share and also low growth. So with their digital services like cameras and all those stuff, Sony camera, Sony movie recorder, this kind of stuff, right? So Boston Consulting Group metrics is going to tell you that which business segment you need to focus more, where your resources will go, and where your resources should go. All right, so we have stars, cash cows, question marks, and dogs based on high level of market share, high and low level of market share, high and low level of growth rate. Now let's just talk about our, I think, last learning objective, in which we talk about the competitive strategies, how we can remain competitive. Number one, what do we mean by competitive strategy? So an organization strategy for how an organization will compete in its business, how they are different from its competitors. So for a small organization in only one line of business, or a large organization that have not diversified into a different products of a market, its competitive strategy depends on how much what kind of product it is selling in that market. So if we talk about one market, laptops, so they have their competitors Dell, Sony, Lenovo, Apple, and now Microsoft as well. We have HP. So if they are only selling laptops, then they are in the laptop segment, they are competitors. And why people prefer